Hey everyone, Josh here at House Guitars, and I'm shooting another video for those of you who are just getting into playing guitar or are interested in starting to do some of your own maintenance. And the first regular maintenance item that you have with a guitar, and this goes for an acoustic guitar, or electric guitar, or classical, is going to be changing your strings. And the question then comes up, how do you know when it's time to change your guitar strings? So there's a few simple things you can look for and listen for that are a good indicator it's time to change your guitar strings. So the guitar on my bench is a lower level Yamaha guitar that came in for some repair work, and I'm just going to show you a few things that you can look for to know if it's time for you to change your guitar strings. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is give your strings a visual inspection. And there's two things that you're looking for when you inspect the guitar strings. And the first is physical damage to the strings. So the strings are actually starting to break, or some sign of damage shows up. And there's a couple places you can see this. Sometimes in and around the nut, you can see the windings on the wound strings, and that's these lower four strings. You can see the windings start to come apart, and that's if the string is maybe catching or something on the slot. Just gonna move my light. You can see a little hard to see there, but on the end of these strings, the windings can come off the string or the wire that's at the core of the string. And so you're looking for that. Any windings that are separating, that's a sign. The other thing is if your strings have been on for a while and you've played a lot, you will actually notice that the underside of a string will develop a little notch at each fret. And that's just from playing wear. So if you see any of those signs, it's a good indication that it's time to change your strings. The other thing that you're looking for with the visual inspection is dirt and corrosion. And if we go up here to the headstock, this string here is a good example. This is a bronze string, and you can see it's kind of nice and shiny, got a nice little orange color to it. So that's what the string looks like when it's brand new. But if we go over here to the fretboard, we see that the strings are kind of black, grayish, and dirty. It's hard to, it probably won't show up on the video, but this string here, the D string, is even a little bit green with dirt. And you can see it maybe a little better right in here. And those are signs that your strings are starting to corrode, or maybe just getting really dirty. And part of this can be the body chemistry of the player. Some people sweat really badly when they play the guitar, and some people have corrosive sweat, which can actually kill or eat away metal a lot quickly than other people do. And if you have this corrosiveness in your sweat, it can kill guitar strings really quickly. But the corrosion often shows up really easily on the high strings, the E and the B. So when these strings are new, they're nice and shiny and silver in color. You can run your hand up and down them without feeling anything, but when they start to corrode, you'll actually be able to feel the dirt on them. The second indicator that it's time to change your guitar strings is the sound. And new guitar strings have a nice, bright, crisp sound. And over time, as your strings get dirty and start to corrode, that nice bright, rich sound of the strings disappears, and they will begin to sound kind of dull and lifeless. Now, if you haven't changed your strings for a long time, you may have a hard time recognizing how dull they sound. But if you were to put a new set of strings on your guitar, you would probably notice the sound improvement really quickly. The third indicator that it's time to change your guitar strings, and this is it's the least common, but it definitely does show up, and it's if you're having trouble tuning your guitar strings. And what happens is that eventually guitar strings get stretched to the point where they will no longer stay properly in tune. And this is especially true for people who tune their guitars to alternate tunings. So they're regularly changing the tuning of their guitar. And what this does is stretches the strings out a lot quicker, so that even though the strings may look new and they may have a nice crisp new sound, they won't actually stay in tune, and the guitar won't play in tune. And I've had a few people ask me what's up with their guitar. Their guitar seems great, all of a sudden it doesn't stay in tune, or they can't play it in tune, and nothing seems to have changed. Well, it can just be that they've stretched out the guitar strings to the point that they're no good. And that is another indicator that it's time to change your strings. So guitar strings are relatively cheap. Depending on the type you're buying, it's usually $10 to $20 per set. And it's just a good idea to keep an eye on these factors to know when it's time to change your guitar strings. It has less to do with the amount of time that the strings are on your guitar and more to do with how much you play and the other factors I've mentioned. So if you want to see how to change your guitar strings, please see my other video on a quick and easy way to change guitar strings, and you'll be well on your way to doing basic maintenance on your own guitar. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and thanks for watching.